are talking about chapter 2 of Dave Ramsey's book, Complete Guide to Money. So chapter 2 is all about the nerds versus free spirits. So after reading chapter 2, we quickly identify that I am truly the nerd, the one who does and loves all of the spreadsheets and planning things out to the T, and my husband is much more of the free spirit, loves to just kind of go with the flow. And anyhow, now in terms of nerds and free spirits, they aren't always necessarily the like nerds aren't always the savers and free spirits aren't always the spenders. We both identify that we both feel like we are the spenders, but can save when it comes to important things that we really want. So that was a big part of chapter 2 of this book, and then it moves on into being single and what does your finances really look like. It talks a lot about the single person, lack of maybe accountability. Maybe you don't have a built-in accountability partner and that you should definitely find one. But then also it talked about some of your challenges when you are a young person and you are single, in terms of fitting in work and friends and all your different social activities, and sometimes that you can overschedule yourself and that affects your budget. Now, even though that was listed underneath the singles chapter, or the singles portion of chapter 2, I really identified with over maximizing my schedule. I am the person who really likes to maximize every single minute of the day to be able to fit in everything that needs to be fit in. And that's one thing that I did realize, for instance, this past week, because half of our home is currently being remodeled, and then our stovetop is messed up, our oven, I don't know what happened, but we ended up having way too much oil in the bottom of our oven, and every single time we turn on the oven, it smokes. And so anyhow, I needed to clean it, didn't have the right stuff to clean it, and then on top of that, our microwave broke. So just kind of way too many things going on. So we ended up eating out, 2 or 3 times this week. And so a lot of that was just from also pure exhaustion, because we are very tired from just working so much, and then having the home just kind of not having our normal place where we can go and relax and decompress. So anything else?
About eating out? No, we ate good though. We ate good.
Oh my gosh. No, about like what causes us to overspend.
No, I think that you kind of hit the nail.
Yeah.
We just lack, if you overplan, it's a problem. If you underplan, it's a problem. So you just gotta find the right balance.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. We're still trying to find that.
Yeah.
Even
now. Trying to work on it.
Yeah, even after 10 years of being married.
You can never stop growing.
Yeah, that's true.
You can tell that to my waist size.
Did you say your wife's size?
I said waist size.
I heard wife's size.
The shoe fits.
That's definitely grown. And then it gets into my favorite part of chapter 2, and that's all about the kids, right? So chapter 2 talks a lot about, instilling that education early on into your kids. And so that was a good pulse check for husband and I to kind of like talk through, like, okay, are we doing everything that we can to really teach our kids about money? And so we'll share some of the things that we've already been doing, and then what we've made what we're planning on doing some changes after reading chapter 2. So we tried doing this with the 20-year-old, but I think that we were a little bit later. We definitely learned from the 20-year-old. First, when the 20-year-old got her first paycheck, we knew that, she doesn't get to just keep all of that as disposable income. And so, we made her pay rent. And so with the second child, she has been saving her money that she's been earning for past or so, and so that's how she's amassed the amount of savings that she has. This is like, you know, a big portion of it is like grandparents have been giving her money over the years, and so she would just kind of chuck it away. What we didn't do with her that we should have is that we should have at some point given her a set stipend for the work that she does at the house, and have her create her own budget and pay for her own clothing and her own things, which we didn't do that. But since then, we have sat her down, and matter of fact, she now has, 4 jobs? Veronica just got her 4th job.
I guess.
Yeah, so she's got like two jobs now, where she draws like a paycheck with taxes paid, and then she has kind of 2 under the table jobs that she does. So now when she gets paid, she has her book that I've made for her. She sits down and she allocates like, okay, this much money is going to medical, this much money is going to clothing, this much money is going to like entertainment or takeout food, things like that. And then of course she still has her car, and she does have $1,000 already saved for if she gets into an auto accident, and she has $1,000 saved for if the car needs repairs, which she'll continue to put money into that repair fund just in case, or not just for that, but like for the next car as well. So for the little ones, so the little ones have their accounts. We're waiting for our son to turn 8 so he can get his own personal checking account. But right now he does have a savings account, and then our 9-year-old has a checking and a savings account. And so right now I'm putting 40% of their weekly allowance or weekly paycheck, I guess, into their, well, for my son it's 14, for the 9-year-old it's 18. 40% of their pay goes into a savings account, and the rest goes into their checking account. What we have talked about in the near future is giving them more money for them to then pay for their own things. Like for instance, well, you got a budget for dance, you got a budget for jiu-jitsu, you want this at school, you need a budget for it. So just teach them how to manage their own money. So, we are, sorry, squirrel. So currently right now what we're doing is we are giving the kids a set allowance that gets divided amongst their savings and their checking account. And then when we go to the store and we purchase something for them, it comes out of their account. What I'd like to kind of see us do over the next, say, year is have them actually budget out their own purchases. So what I mean by that is we recently went and bought both of the kids clothing. I would love for them to, you know, okay, I've got $200, and out of the $200, this is what I want to buy, because I feel like they will appreciate the clothing, appreciate the purchases a lot more. And they'll appreciate the purchases a lot more, and they will learn how to budget, basically. So I don't know if there was anything else we talked about.
No, but just the principle of making sure that the kids become great stewards.
Yes.
Especially understanding that you kind of give them the understanding that it's not their money, it's God's money. God has allowed them to have some of it, and just kind of reminding them to, you know, give back. You know, because Dave Ramsey talks about donating or sharing money willingly or freely. So that's something you want to get them used to as well.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys. So it's evening time. My husband and I ran errands just about all day long. And anyhow, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Did want to just let everyone know that I will be putting out a video this week coming up of my October budget, and I will be going over my September summary to just kind of share where I've been at with my finances. I think I had shared at the beginning of September that you weren't really going to see a lot of debt repayment just because of everything that was going on. I did make those big adjustments to my tax withholdings to really just throw money at my tax withholdings because my tax withholdings were not correct. So I can give you a real quick estimate of that. I have been paying roughly about an extra $1,000 bi-weekly on my tax withholdings just because I knew that I was going to be so far behind and I don't want to owe again this year. So, but I'll go over that more in detail on my September summary video, which I'm hoping to put out tomorrow. So anyhow, it is 11 o'clock at night. I hope everyone has a good night and I'll talk to you soon.